If nothing can save me, I know I can't win what I need. Music, affection, a place to speak on a sea.
Now, I was thinking we should maybe chat about the song Shy next, if that's okay with you. And before we get into the music, Lily was wanting to know a bit about the cover of this one.
Okay, this one made me laugh because when I saw it, because on the little cover, you've got the egg cup, but it's got arms that go kind of weirdly. Yeah. I was thinking, because with the cover, C and G and the egg cup is great. What made you think of this cover for the song Shy?
This is a good story.
That's what we like here.
Basically, we were originally going to call the project Beg because my surname is Beg. And for some reason we were like, wouldn't it be hilarious if we just made a project and it was just called Beg? And then like everything is egg themed.
There's an art direction I've not heard before.
Yeah, so luckily
What, even the outfits?
Luckily we pivoted away from that idea.
Book them for Easter now.
Sounds really crazy to say out loud that we were actually thinking of doing that, but then so
it could have been cool though. It could have been cool.
We could have pulled it off, I'm sure.
It sounds like something Bjork would do, you know, dress as a giant egg.
Yeah.
You know?
So then the last minute we were like, actually let's just call it Cass and George. And then by that point we already had the artwork that was all egg themed. So then we just added C and G on it instead of the word beg, and that was the artwork.
That is an amazing story. I love that. I love
and
that.
also shout out Martha, who does like our album art, and she's amazing. Just so great at art and stuff.
That's so cool. And yeah, so Martha, that was a thing I was going to ask you guys about, the other cover art for your other singles and other releases you have out. Has it always been the same person you've worked with, and how did the ideas come about?
Our first release was done by a different friend of a friend.
Yeah, that was done by someone called Louise, who is super professional and great, but Martha is another friend of a friend who's just like got more free time, basically, because like Louise was very like so busy all the time that it was quite hard to get stuff done like quickly, whereas Martha was just like, she's just like, so her work rate is so quick, it's nuts.
Cool.
Yeah, she's great.
Amazing. Great stuff. Well, we'll need to get a link to her work and put it in the bio for people to check it out as well, for sure. Now, regarding the song, we're going to flip it right to the end of the song, because Lily was wanting to know about the outro and ending to the song, weren't you, Lily?
I did. So sometimes when I listen to music, I sometimes picture things in my head. So it would remind me of at the end, because of the fluttering bit, it reminded me of like a butterfly covered in there's a piano in a abandoned castle, and then like flowers and butterflies, so the flowers like covering the piano, and then the butterflies just fluttering around with just everything about like, well, how did you actually come up with the fluttering ending of the song?
I mean, it was based on the piano which Joseph played, our pianist. I think that was probably where the vision came from. Sometimes he just plays things and we're just like, that's incredible.
He's like a master of harmony. It's like insane. So like we did the keys tracking session, and then we were just like, oh, it'd be really cool if we did a sort of weird outro, like a weird sort of atmospheric outro in like a parallel key. And we were like, could you give us some options for that? And he gave us so many options. And then just production, really, bits of auto pan and whatnot.
Yeah, it sounded amazing, and it like I said, for Lily and even for me, it gives such like visualization in the music at the end. And I was wondering, when you guys are making the music, or when you listen back to it, or listen back to like a half-finished one, do you ever kind of get visual images in your head during that process?
I wish I did. I think I I picture the storylines and I think about the narratives. Maybe I do think of images sometimes. I think a lot of the themes have been around nature. We like to use like nature parallels. What I Need was very about like missing being around nature and being part of nature. So yeah, I guess. But not as much as I think you have.
Yeah, Lily had a whole movie scene in her head for this one.
I
Definitely,
it
yeah.
because when we were listening to it, I always picture things when I listen to music, and then what I thought of it, it just made me kind of like, I was like, how about I close my eyes and think of it? And I was just like, when I listen to it, it just pictures in my head, and I'm like, why does it just go so well? I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And we were chatting about the production on it as well, and that's one of the ways you managed to achieve that sound. And I was just thinking, everything on all your records, it really sounds like super clear, professional, but it hasn't lost any emotion either, you know. So it's amazing. And I was wondering, do you guys have any tips for musicians out there who are aiming to get their records like done so well, so when people are listening to them, it really is the best version of that song?
This is a George question.
Okay, George, on we go.
Well, firstly, thank you. That's high praise. I think it's like a lot of stuff. It's just kind of repetition, really. Like I've made some terrible songs, like in some songs that really don't sound professional. That will stay forever on my hard drive.
Do we have any hidden happy hardcore remixes? Or
No comment. But bear in mind, I had to make so much music for uni. There is some terrible stuff on my. But it's like anything, just repetition, and also just listening to music as well. Because once you've like locked into, especially like production wise, once you've like locked your ears into what sounds like what, then you can kind of start hearing people using it in their records, and then you can steal it and do like, well, not steal it, but like be inspired by it and like take different things that they've done. And like YouTube very much is your friend, because like if there's something that you hear that's really cool and you're like, what is that, then someone would have figured it out on YouTube, and then you can know how to do it, which is great.
Yeah, and it's great to hear as well, because I think sometimes there's like a myth a little bit about how songwriters are just like born with it's like magic. And the truth is, some songwriters have that a little bit, but it's often by nurturing that. And just like rehearsing an instrument, you can like rehearse songwriting, can't you? Just like by trying to go. And sometimes you might hit a home run straight out of the park and have an amazing song, and then have 10 songs that are just a bit naff and you're not happy with, and then you get another one. I think that's reassuring for people to hear that, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of this magic, but the truth is, like, if you want to do it, you can go through that yourself and learn that yourself, can't you? Yeah.
I think it's about just doing the work by yourself. Sometimes it does involve just sitting in a practice room by yourself. Me and George have both done big stretches of just practicing in practice rooms, but I think it's also is just about throwing yourself into it and saying yes to stuff. And I think those two things can coexist. You can do the work by yourself and also just fake it till you make it.
100%. And Lily, we did notice an awesome instrument in this song that we wanted to ask about, didn't we?
Yeah, so it was the flute solo in 2025. Awesome. Obviously, we've got to talk about that.
Yeah.
What made you think of adding that like flute solo into the song?
We had to beg our saxophonist to play the flute on it, because he was like, he does play the flute. He plays it so well, but he was like, oh, I'm not good enough to do a flute solo, and we were like, trust me, bro, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I think it comes naturally to us to include instrument solos and stuff, just because we both have the jazz foundation. Like my course is jazz, George has jazz in his bones, so like we were just both like, yeah, flute solo.
Yeah, we were like, flute solo in 2025. That is awesome. That's what the world needs right now, for sure. What other underused instruments can we expect in future records, George?
I'm recording some clarinet tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I think is quite underused in pop music. That's a great question. A lot of more chordal bass stuff.
Chordal bass.
Yeah.
which is again relatively underused. But I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
Exciting times, amazing. So I think we're also going to have a little chat before we get on to talking about your live show. It's on the 24th of January, Stag's Head, London. We're gonna have a little chat about what to expect from your live show. Just before that, we're gonna have a little chat about the song What I Need. And Lily has another visualization for this one. So Lily, do you want to ask about that?
I keep having this every time I listen to music. I picture it. So this one, when we listen to it, this song made me feel like, imagine like, oh, if you're in like one of the New York apartments with like the big glass window, with the sun gleaming through, with it like with the song playing on a vinyl record in the background. What does it make you feel when you like, if you kind of pictured it in your head or made this song?
Oh, I like that a lot because I think it was very much about like being in a city and staring out of a window and thinking, I wish I was among the trees right now.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's basically what we're going for.
I'm so glad that you picked up that.
Wow. That is amazing. Like, well, music is a lot, if not wholly, about communication. And that idea was communicated well. So well done to you guys.
That's great.
Great interpretation, Lily, as well. That's so cool. Oh, amazing. Well, talking about the instruments in this one was maybe a little bit more keyboard driven. And I was wondering, did you guys start on keys for this one to get the idea, or how did the idea and writing for this one happen?
We did. I mean, this was one of the first songs we ever created together. I think it was the first one we created together, just like in the same room, starting from scratch.
Yeah, it was the first one that we like co-wrote like the chords and like everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had the chords left over from another project and then I played them in while George was making a beat, and then we just meshed it together. And yeah, it came fully from the keyboard, that one.
Yeah. It was like a standard that you were writing, right?
It was a jazz tune and it did not sound like that at all.
Yeah, it's crazy how like just swapping a few different chords like makes our song feel super different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I think another good takeaway as well is like for anyone listening who's a songwriter, don't be afraid to recycle an idea that didn't quite work somewhere else, but you might be able to use it for something else.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nobody will notice.
Yeah, 100%.
Nobody's watching.
Yeah. And also like, I think it's like a thing of keeping your ideas like, sort of safe as well. Like obviously you might remember that one, but you know, it's worth taking a note or a voice note of stuff as well. Yes. Just so you've got like your own personal vault of like ideas. Yeah, it's 100%. And Lily, you were going to ask about the in regards, so we got all the keyboards and sounds on it, but there's a cool sample at the end of the song you were going to ask about, right?
I picked, when we did the practice session, I picked all these songs. So for this song, What I Need, at the end of it, you've got this like tape recording sample. I was thinking, how did you get that tape recording sample at the end of the song?
Man, it was actually we originally ripped a Star Trek like Spock beat.
Nice.
I love Star Trek.
Yeah, I get that. I watched that a lot as a kid too.
I love Star Trek.
So it was originally that, but then we thought if we're gonna release it, we don't want to get in too much trouble. Plus, it wasn't like the best quality. So it was we just dug through a bunch of like online. It wasn't from Splice. It was from like some weird MP3 download like sample library somewhere online.
Yeah, you were looking for it for like 3 hours or something, I remember.
3 hours.
Ages. We just couldn't find anything that was right, and we wanted it to fit like the sentiment of the song as well.
Yeah, I think it says life is simple, we do try to complicate it, and we really like that concept.
Yeah.
Sounds like a quote. Definitely sounds like a quote.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that 3-hour search on the internet was fruitful.
It was eventually.
Yeah, I have heard of artists sometimes having a sample of something copyrighted from a TV show and then eventually being like having to like just re-record it themselves or get a mate to say it and add effects because they're like, we just want that, but we can't use that recorded.
It also would have been a bit weird just to have a random Star Trek quote at the end. We were like,
it was more that, yeah. One of that everyone can identify that it was Spock.
Oh, that's amazing. I was also going to ask about the drum sound on this one, and I think on most of the records, like it's like so like dry and funky. And personally, I love drums like that. Like you've got like the meters, you got like crown bin. And how did you go about getting that like dry and funky drum sound?
That would be, I think that was just, I think we got all the samples from a sample library on Splice through, I can't remember which one it was. It's one of the more popular ones. And then we just chucked it into drum pads because we wanted it to feel like swung in like a really human way. So we played it in and like with lots of imperfections that we left in on purpose. And then I don't normally do like room or atmosphere. I don't really like using reverbs until like the song's kind of formed, and then I can then go and see how everything fits together. And then with this one, everything was quite dry, but also quite wet. Everything sort of sounded like it was in a small room. From just the way that we'd produced the keys and where we recorded the vocal and stuff. So then we just made the choice to make the drums really sort of like tapey and just like dry. Also, I listened to a lot of like Wolfpack sort of like Nate Smith drum style, which is always just like dry as anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that drum sound a lot for sure. Thanks for answering that. That's cool. And I think it's time we should maybe chat about the Stag's Head gig, which we're excited for. So we're wondering, what can we expect from the now we've learned about the songs and the storyline. How does that translate live? What can we expect from the live showcase?
It's one of my favorite things because it's so different. It's like unbelievably different. Because we were not thinking about the live set when we were making the songs. I think in our head we were just like, we'll figure that out later. Like, that's not a problem for now. And then we put together the band and it was just something, we didn't try to replicate what we'd done in the tracks. We've taken the songs and we've got one backing vocalist. So we're doing 3-part harmony, me, George, and our friend Emily. And so 3-part harmony throughout the whole set. The songs sound completely different live. Like we're making different arrangement choices.
They sound similar and like you can tell they're the same songs. It's not like completely different, but like
maybe I'm exaggerating. I love how different it sounds. I think it's so exciting like to come to the show, and I think also we've put a lot more energy into them. So when you hear them live, it's like the same songs but just energized and like more raw and live. Obviously less perfect and less clean. So yeah, I really like that.
We try and have fun as much as possible. Like we don't like we both kind of have the opinion that if you go and watch a gig and it's like really serious, it's it can be kind of awkward,
alienating.
Yeah, and you just want to kind of have fun, and we're all having fun on stage, so we like to think that translates into the audience.
We're all really, really good friends in the band, which is like so important. You have to love the people that you're working with, I think, is something I've realised.
Yeah, and that's great musicians as well. We're so lucky because they're all like amazing. From Guildhall, and they're like some of the best of what they do at their age. It's just there's lots of solos as well, which is great.
Lots of solos.
That sounds fun. Whipping out the flute solo.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Clarinet coming soon.
We need to beg him.
Amazing. Lily, you were going to ask about the venue itself, weren't you?
Yeah, so I looked online and found a website, well, it was a review website showing about the place. And I noticed that the way it looked, it gave me that pub style venue. So because the venue you're playing at, what made you choose to play in a pub style venue? Since it looks like a pub.
Because it is a pub.
I was thinking that.
I think it feels very relaxed. I mean, we're all from London. We're all students as well. We just kind of enjoy being in a relaxed setting. And I think it's more chill for the audience as well to be just chilling in a pub. It's also around the corner from where I live.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Cass lives
nice.
And this is in Oxford, so that
Very,
helps.
like homely and comfortable setting, I think. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Plus, you can't be playing. You can't. You gotta play. If you want to gig often, you gotta play lots of different types of venues as well.
Yeah.
Can't be always just playing like proper like venues. Otherwise, it's tough to sell.
100%. I love a good pub style gig as well, for sure. Like, really like it. And speaking of other venues, I was going to ask you both, maybe starting with George, what was your favorite ever live show you've played? And it can be with this group or maybe other ones you played in your past. What was your favorite ever one?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, my most favorite one recently has definitely been we did a Cass and George gig a couple of weeks ago, and it just was so much fun. And like it was a relatively small venue, so like we knew a lot of the people in the audience, and we were like had a drink after. That was great. But I also play in another band called Defender, which is just like nuts, like jazz fusion stuff with like a vocalist that just like runs around doing crazy stuff. They're always fun to play because it's just like people in the audience have no idea what's hit them.
Well, that sounds fun. I do love bands like that. I remember a while ago there was like a kind of jazz punk band called Acoustic Ladyland, who I don't think are going anymore, but they were so unexpected. It was like the furiousness of punk combined with like jazz. It was insane. And at the time, Seb Rockford, the drummer, was pretty well known in the jazz scene. He had like hair that was like the size of a planet, like this giant fuzzy round hair. He was crazy. Like he was so cool. Yeah, Grant and Cass, I'll ask you the same as well. What was your favorite ever live show that you've played as Cass and George, or other ones you might have done?
I'm going to say the same one as George because like that, I said to people afterwards, I was like, that's the most fun I've ever had singing, full stop. I think a lot of it is that I took myself out of the jazz mode of like doing a hotel gig and like wearing a like formal outfit and like trying to sing as like technically well, as I could. I just wore a baggy t-shirt, rocked up, and just tried to have the best time possible. And I think it came across in the music. I mean, I'd never felt such a good reaction from an audience as well. They all were just having a great time, and it was such a good feeling. It felt like this is the point of it. Like this is what it's meant to be like.
Oh, it sounds like you've
really
unlocked something there, Cass. Yeah, that
Felt like
sounds.
an
Keep
epiphany.
doing that. Yeah, 100%. That's cool. And that's that thing of like the audience will always feed off what energy you put out as well. And it sounds
Yeah.
like you guys like hit the mark there, hit the sweet spot. That's
Yeah.
cool. Amazing stuff. And we're pretty much coming to near the end of our interview, which I'm sad about because we could chat all day. It's been so much fun. But I thought I'd say to Lily as well, I'm going to ask a question just now, but then if you've got thought of any other questions before we finish, you can drop in as well. So now's a chance to have a little
All
think
my
of that.
questions have been taken from the questions we've made, really.
That's good. Yeah, well, that's why we do the preparation.
Definitely.
So this is a question we always ask our guests, and I think it's good because a lot of our students, they're 16 to 25 years old. They're doing like music and a bit of media at Super Jam, and I was wondering if you had the Back to the Future car and you could go visit like your revisit your younger self, maybe when you were first starting music or wanting to get into it. And I'll start with George. What would you be chatting about to your younger self? What would you be hanging out and chatting about?
What would we be chatting about? I used to really love mountain biking, so probably something to do with bikes.
Fair.
But no, in terms of like musical stuff, I think I have two main things, like one of which being I would love to have learned like a wind instrument or something. Like I wish that like at like a younger age, I don't know, I like started learning the saxophone or just something like that, because that would just have been really cool to be able to do. But the other thing was, I think I would tell my sort of like 19-year-old self when in my first year at Guildhall, just to sort of go into it knowing what you want to get out of it, because I kind of didn't, and it took me a couple of years to realize. And then by then, like I'd already been in a couple of years, if that makes sense. So you know, within the first like 6 months of being there, I wish that I'd have. I basically wish that Cass and I had met sooner and we'd started this project sooner. Basically,
Yeah, I guess that it's good. But the thing is, when you're that young, sometimes it just takes that exploring a bit, doesn't it? And kind of maybe that was meant to be. And when you did meet, like you were more prepared than you would have been as well and stuff like that. But yeah, it's good advice. Like try and think what you want to get out of like a new chapter if you can as well.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. And Cass, what are you thinking if you took that Back to the Future car, went and visited your younger self? What would you chat about? What advice would you have? That kind of thing.
I mean, I don't think any of my journey could have really been skipped. So I don't know if I'd give her any proper advice, except I would definitely say learn the guitar earlier, because I had a weird thing where my younger sister played the guitar and I didn't want to steal her thing.
Yeah.
It felt really bad and it really stunted my guitar playing growth. So I was doing the piano and I was like, oh, I really want to play the guitar, but no, I don't want to steal her thing. She's the guitarist of the family. So I came to the guitar too late. So I think I'd say, girl, don't worry about that. Just pick up the guitar.
You're great at the guitar, Cass. You're great.
Oh, thanks, George.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And yeah, it's good that to not worry too much about what other people think and stuff like that, and just kind of go with where your heart took you for sure. Well, I feel like we've covered so much on the chat today, guys, all about your music, the show, the story behind the band. And I think for people listening who want to be artists themselves, if such good advice for them. And also people watching or listening to this who are excited about the gig, have learned quite a lot about you guys to get revved up for that. So the show's going to be on the 24th of January at the Stag's Head in London, with Real Sounds promoting, and yeah, absolutely buzzing for that. And we'll put all the links in the description below for everyone to check out. So I want to say thanks very much for you guys joining the podcast today. Lily, thanks so much for co-hosting as well. And I hope you have a good one. We'll catch you later. Cheers.
Thanks so much.
Bye.